Good morning to everybody. Welcome to online class. In the previous class we have seen Dear Departed 1. Certain part of it is completed and today we are going to continue the next part. So before we go to the remaining part of the one act play, I would like to tell some more information about what we have missed in day 1. So here the unit suggests that wit and humor. Now let me clearly tell you what is wit and humor. Wit is a person who is known for clever and funny remarks. Any person who makes funny remarks is called a person of wit, and it's the ability of the thinking and reasoning quickly with spontaneity. That is the meaning of wit. And what is humor? It's a funny or a amusing quality. It may be jokes or funny stories. Anything which creates fun will be considered as humor. So this unit, wit and humor. Clear? In this particular lesson, William Stanley Rockton, he is describing the degradation of moral values, especially in the British middle class family, but with a sense of comedy and humor. So let us start in detail. Now if you see these two pictures, one is Charlie Chaplin, a renowned world famous comedian, an icon of comedy is Charlie Chaplin. Similarly, we can see our very own Brahmanandam Garu, who has a unique nature of cracking comedy. He has that potentiality and is well known for his Guinness records also. So these two people stand as an icon of comedy or wit and humor. Right children? Let's go further. Now, the Dear Departed one act play. Just a recap of all the characters. Mrs. Amelia Slater, Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan, both are sisters. Henry Slater, Ben Jordan, the husbands of Amelia and Elizabeth. And Victoria, who is the daughter of Amelia, and Abel Merriweather, the main character of her story. The story is going to reveal and revolve around Abel Merriweather. Right? Correct. Now let me give you some explanation. Let me give you some introduction about William Stanley Rockton. So William Stanley Rockton, from 1881 to 1913, he was a very famous English dramatist. He was one of the group of the realistic playwrights, especially in the Manchester School of England. And in every play, he sought to present a remarkable gift for dialogue. I mean, his way of dialogue delivery, it's very clear and it is very evidently shown in Dear Departed. And Dear Departed 1 and 2 are first produced in the year 1908. Here, William Rockton gives a satire on the degradation of the moral values, especially in the middle class families of the British Empire. Right children, let's go further. Now, one act play features. What are the features of a one act play? They are in concise matter. They are in limited matter. There is only a single setting. Entire play takes place only a particular setting. There is no change of settings and there are no breaks in the actions. Okay, once the one act play starts, it continues till the end. There are no breaks to be taken. It's a continuous action. And mainly it focuses on three things, that is theme, character and plot. What is theme? The entire theme deals about the kind of love and affection which are degraded in the middle class families. That's the theme that is included along with wit and humor, and the character or the nature of the characters who are involved in the one act play, and the plot of trying to betray their father and trying to acquire the property of father is clearly shown in this Dear Departed. Right, children? Right. Now, the Dear Departed is a satire that criticizes the superficial or the artificial relations, especially the showy love between parents and children. Parents are everything for us. They have given us life, they have given us good quality of education, and they play a role for a bright future. But here, once we become elders or adults, we may not show the genuine love and affection on the parents. Sometimes our love is superficial, sometimes it is unnatural, especially from the young generation. Now, though the title appears emotional, Dear Departed, so we feel that a lot of affection is there in that particular word of dear, but here it is not really seen in the story. And Rockton very clearly satire. What is satire? Making fun of is called as satire. When you make fun of someone, when you criticize someone, it's called as a satire. And this satire is the degradation of moral values. Right? Let's go further. Now this is, you can see here, the clock is there, a very good looking one, and here the bureau on which Amelia, wanted to grab it for herself before Elizabeth comes to their house. So these two things are very much important in this Dear Departed 1. Now these are some of the meanings what you come across in the lesson. Let me read. Right, when you see the meanings here, die. Do you understand? Especially used in awkward situation. Precocious, someone who is very gifted, talented, and who is very genius. Bureau, already we have discussed. It's a writing desk, especially with a locker and a drawer and a couple of drawers. And drive a hard bargain is, trying to win over a person by making some arguments. That's called as drive a hard bargain. Especially you try to have a kind of quarrel or conflicts with someone and you are going to win over the person, and you will feel that it should come to me. And daft is silly, pinch is to steal, and mantelpiece is nothing but a decorative thing which is kept on a fireplace. It's a shelf actually. And usher is to welcome someone. Complacement is someone who is very self-satisfied and unconcerned about the feelings of others. And chirpy is nothing but cheerful and very active. And snug is, very warm, comfortable and protected from the cold. And overdue is not paid by the expected time. Abel Merriweather in the story, he is having overdue of his premium. And swindling is cheating somebody for property or money. And transfixed is become motionless in fear. And chuckling is giving a smile or a laugh with amusement or satisfaction. And clad is wearing a particular type of clothing. And malicious is a desire to do some harm to the other people. Right? So these are the meanings which appear in part 1. So let's go further now. Right, now let's enter into this play from where we have stopped in the previous class. This is Slater. And when we had finished dinner, I thought I would take up a bit of something on a tray. So Slater found father was sleeping and she wanted to take something for him to eat, but he was lying in the bed for all the world as if he's asleep. So he was relaxed in such a way that he doesn't want to know what is happening in the world. So I put the tray down on the bureau. So immediately she said, I kept the tray on the bureau. Again she has recorrected, saying that it's not the bureau but it's a chest of drawers. Clear? And when to awaken him, she went to just wake up her father, but he was very quite cold. Okay, there is no chance of him to wake up, and both Elizabeth and Amelia just sniff their tears back in this way. Okay, right. Now after that, rising briskly, I mean very quickly at length in a business-like tone. Business-like tone means not so emotional. Okay, the rude. Well, will you go up and look at him now, or shall we have a tea? This also we have discussed. When someone expired, when someone passed away, when you just go to attend the funeral, first you feel like to see the dead body and you just express your grief or your sadness, or you show your love and affection. But you see here, they wanted to have a cup of tea rather than going and seeing the dead person. So, and Ben says that I'm not very particular about having a tea or going and seeing the person. And you know, they just, well, if the kettle is ready, we may as well have a tea first. If the tea is ready, we're going to have the tea first and then see the person. That is Abel Merriweather, who is lying dead in his room. Mrs. Slater puts the kettle in the fire and gets tea ready. And Henry, one thing, we must as well decide now the announcement in the paper. So we have to discuss about the obituary. So Abel Merriweather has passed away. Just wanted to give a statement in the newspaper that Abel Merriweather is no more. And Mrs. Jordan, I was just thinking of that. What would we do? Shall we prepare a note of obituary stating to the newspaper, or shall we, just think for a while and then do it? So this is what Mrs. Jordan was thinking. And then now Mrs. Jordan, well, we will think about it after tea, and then we all look through his bits of things and make a list of things. Just see the condition, see the kind of words that are coming from the daughter. She's saying that we'll have tea first, and after having the tea, we will just go through how much of furniture is there or left, and the kind of property that is there in this particular room, because they wanted to divide the property between the two sisters. How awkward, how inhumane. The own daughters, when father is lying dead in his room, are only concerned about the property and the bloody sense of having a tea. Now we can clearly see that what kind of sense the middle class people are having, especially in the 20th century. And Henry says there's no jewelry or valuables for that sort. Unfortunately, there is no jewelry or gold that's left with Abel Merriweather. And Mrs. Jordan says, Elizabeth says, except his gold watch, he promised that to our Jimmy. Now in this particular play of Dear Departed One, there is no character. I mean, Jimmy is there. Jimmy is the son of Mrs. Elizabeth and Ben Jordan, but his character is never revealed in the story. But Elizabeth says that that particular gold watch father has promised to give to his grandson. But nowhere we talk about the grandson, right? So Mrs. Slater, Amelia promised you Jimmy? Yeah, Jimmy, is it so? Did father promise that he's going to give the gold watch? I never heard of that. So Mrs. Jordan says, oh, but he did. He did, Amelia. You were not there when he was living with us. He was very fond of Jimmy. That's the reason he promised to give it to Jimmy, right? Now, well, amazed, I really don't know that father wanted to give the gold watch to Jimmy. Now, Ben, anyhow, there's his insurance money. Have you got the receipt for it? Premium he paid this morning, but he went out. Abel Merriweather went out, but he's not very specific. No one knows that he went to pay the insurance. And moreover, he went out, and Victoria says that he didn't go into the town. Actually, he did not go into the town or go to the bank or some insurance company to pay him premium. He met old Mr. Tattersall down the street. They went off past St. Philip's Church. Grandfather went to down the street. Okay, I mean, he went to pay the premium, you all thought, but he went to meet his friend Tattersall, and also just past this church by name St. Philip's Church. Do you think he hasn't paid it? was it overdue? Now they have a doubt whether the premium is paid or is it like in depth. They have a doubt. So I should think it was overdue, and they have come to the conclusion that it might be overdue. Something tells me that no, he's not paid it. Mrs. Jordan says that no, I think father has not cleared the premium. And Ben addresses him as old beggar, which is very, very bad. You cannot address your in-law, the father-in-law, as an old beggar, which is very bad, right? So Mrs. Jordan, no, he's done it on purpose, just to annoy us. I think father has not paid the premium only to make us very angry. And she says it's nothing sort of swindling. See, I'm not, I don't have the intention of, robbing the property. He's with me for all these years, and I think I have a right in father's property. Mrs. Jordan says, I had to put up with him for 5 years. Elizabeth says that father stayed with me for 5 years. And Slater says that, and you were trying to turn him over to us all the time. Though father was there with you for 5 years, whenever you find time, you were just trying to push father to my house. Henry says, but we don't know for certain that he's not paid the premium. But don't know what might be the reason. He might not have paid the premium. So Slater says, Victoria, just go up and fetch the bunch of keys that's on grandfather's dressing table. They just wanted to open the locker and see whether the receipt of the premium, which is paid or not paid, they just wanted to see. And Victoria says, timidly, when she's scared, in grandfather's room. Oh, mother, you're asking me to go to grandfather's room. How can I go? She's scared because she feels that grandfather is no more and no one dares to go near a dead body. And Slater says, yes, you have to go to the first floor and just go to grandfather's room and just collect the keys. Victoria, I don't like to. It's Slater. Don't talk so silly. There's no one who can hurt you. Victoria goes out reluctantly. Reluctantly means what? Unwillingly. She's not interested to go, but she has to go because her mother has forced her. We will see it if he has locked the receipt up in the bureau. Again, the word bureau is used by Slater. She will try to recollect it also. Right? So how is she going to recollect it now? Mother, Mrs. Slater, what is it, child? The girl comes down and says, mother. She's surprised or sudden emotionally she portrays her nature. Says that, mother, what's up, child? Mrs. Slater, no, what is it, child? Victoria says, grandpa is getting up. What did she say? She said that grandpa is getting up. Ben was completely shocked. What? Mrs. Slater, what do you say? Victoria says, grandpa is getting up. Mrs. Jordan, the child's crazy. The girl has got crazy or she has gone mad. How can she say that grandpa is getting up? Mrs. Slater says, don't talk so silly. Do you think your grandpa is already dead? He's dead. How do you think that he's going to get up and come? Victoria, no, he's getting up. I saw him. They are transfixed completely. They are like statues with sudden shock and surprise. And Victoria, in fear, clings to Mrs. Slater. She goes and holds her mother very tightly in that particular fear. And Ben suddenly he says, listen everybody. Okay, he's giving a caution. Just all of you be just quiet. Something is going to happen. And what has happened? Now they look at the door. A slight chuckling is heard from upstairs. Chuckling is, a kind of laugh when you really feel very happy. A laugh to your satisfaction is heard from the upstairs. The door opens, revealing an old man clad in a faded but gay dressing gown. Clad means to dress up. In a faded. Dress is little faded but gay, bright dressing gown. He wore a nightgown, okay, which was very bright. As in his stockinged feet. Stockinged means just wearing the socks but not the shoe. Although over 70, he is also vigorous. Though Abel Mary, whether is 70 years of age, is very strong. Okay, he is very stiff and well colored, nice but bright There's some grace on his face. His bright, malicious eyes. The eyes are very bright. Malicious is again, it's a kind of irony. You see, malicious indicates something harm. Malicious eyes and bright, malicious eyes. So contrasting meaning is shown here. Bright, malicious eyes. So malicious itself says doing something harm, and bright is something which says good. So eyes twinkle under his heavy reddish grey eyebrows. He is obviously either the old man. He might be old man, that is Abel Merriweather, or else is ghost. If he is really existing in form, it would have been Abel Merriweather, or if he is no more, it would have been the ghost. In the part 2, we will be seeing whether Abel Merriweather is the ghost or the real man in existence with life. So dear children, with this we come to the end of this chapter. Okay, and so I hope you all understood it. Thanks for watching it, and please do like it and share it and comment in the section. If any doubts and queries are there, you can just drop it in the comment box and I'm going to clarify your doubts. Okay, I hope you have understood. For further discussion, we will be having a YouTube live which I will be informing you. Please watch the video, and any queries please post it in the comment box. Thank you and have a nice day.